Patch 0.10E.
You've got mail.
Oh my god, this is a huge one. Content windows open. This is gigantic. Thanks for the prime, dude, bro. Holy moly. Added the capacity to travel between checkpoints within an area. Okay, nice. It brings up your map overlay and then you can choose a checkpoint to travel to. Nice. So they've added more checkpoints too. Generally at the entrances and exits to areas. If you are instantly able to travel to them if you go back. Okay, very nice. Passive point respecking has been made cheaper, especially at high levels. It had a relatively aggressive curve, getting more expensive with each character level. Flatten the curve so it doesn't exponentially grow as much. For example, this should result generally in an approximated 40 to 50% less gold cost for respecking between the start and middle of Endgame Prague. Yeah, it was way too expensive. Let me put a... This map doesn't have music, does it? Well, I want a little bit of music in the background. Added a shortcut to open skills, advance information by right-clicking the skill in your hotbar, in your skill bar. You now compare equipped flasks when using a gamepad, added chant shards to the currency exchange. Who's gonna be shards from the exchange? I guess if you need like one more. Add a button to travel to your guild hideout and interacting with the waypoint. Okay, let's see. Maps no longer have additional LE res penalties entirely applied at tier 6 and tier 11 or higher maps. It is now consistent across all of Endgame. Yeah, I'm gonna be real. I think this is a terrible, terrible, terrible change. That's not Pog. This is really bad. Unless... I don't know. They're still not... Can they clarify? Like, do you get them right when you enter maps? Because I think that 20% might just be chucked onto you now when you enter maps. I guess... I don't know. It's well, no additional LE res. Alright, maybe they're just gone. Maybe. We'll find out. Hopefully it's just removed. Dude, how's that baddie of having such a hard time to rest cap? Because if you listen to what I said, you would see how it was bad. If it ends up being that way. But if it is just gone, then it's not bad. Crit strikes from monsters now deal 40% less bonus damage. Good. Chaos damage now scales less aggressively over the end game. Good. This chaos damage was nuts. Ground laser lightning by Rune Knight nerfed. The waypoint modifier that adds burning ground to your maps is no longer increases in coverage or area with higher tier waystones. I didn't even notice it did that. Siphon flask nerfed. Disabled volatile crystals. Trail of fire does less damage. All the trails less shorter. Volatile plants deal significantly less damage. Packs of prowling chimeras and maps now spawns less of the prowling chimeras and spawn alongside some zombies. Lowered the baseline monster density of breach encounters primarily by reducing the frequency of the elite monsters appearing. I wish they just like made them drop less loot or something because the density is pretty nice. I guess we don't really know how bad this is yet. If it's like 25% or something, it's not that bad. Fix an inconsistency in the different types of packs that could spawn during breach encounters. You should now see more different types of monsters appearing on an area-to-area basis. Volatiles by Volatile Fiends Trial of Chaos modifier now accelerate over time. Stormcaller, Trial Chaos smaller. Increase the hitbox on a number of abilities used by Blackjaw the Remnant. Crossbow variants, monsters for less fire damage. Alright, we got Trial of Sekhemas improvements. Honor damage now scales down based on oh, this is the melee buffs. Take 35% less honor damage when in close range, tapering as you are further from monsters. Fix the damage where DOT is dealing 3 times as much damage to honor as intended. And fix a bug where honor resistance is only applying to 2/3 of that damage taken. Alright. Some monster changes. Alright. Scale balance. This is looking like a lot. Rolling Slam, Secondary Slam now deals 50% more damage to heavy stun enemies. Ice Shot buffs? Ice Shot Shards now gains additional projectiles as it levels up. Now targets within a 90-degree cone. Travels further. Oh, shards travel further. That might be really nice for clear. Ice Shot arrow and projectiles are now smaller and are the same size as other arrows. They were bigger before? Electrocuting arrow. Base duration, I don't know, nobody used that. Doubled duration, doubling quality bonus. Barrage has 25% less damage from 65% less at level 1. Same scaling per level. Barrage now has +2 repeats base from +1. That sounds kind of good. I don't know what the stats are on it, but that sounds pretty good. That is a rather huge buff. Shock chain arrows. Shockwaves deal 100% more damage. Sniper's mark cooldown reduced from 6 seconds to 2 seconds at all levels. Combat Frenzy can now gain a Frenzy charge no more than every 3 seconds from 7 seconds at level 1 to approximately 1.5 at level 20. That's kind of a crazy buff for that. Oh yeah, that's kind of crazy. Vine Arrow's DOT has been adjusted. It is now slightly higher at lower levels and substantially lower at higher levels. Jung down. T-Shot's DOT has been adjusted. Magnetic Salvo can now only use your stuck lightning arrows as opposed to those created by your party members. Increase the damage growth per level on Unearth, Bone Storm, Bone Cage, Bone Blast, Power Siphon, 50% more damage at gem level 25. Damage growth, Essence Drain, Contagion, Profane Ritual, Chaos Bolt, 33% more damage at gem level 25. Any Essence Drain players? Is it good now? Is that enough? Based on what people are saying, that I don't know if that's enough. Skeleton, Arsonist, Spirit Cause now match Frost and Ice Mages from level 5 onwards, making them more expensive while keeping their costs early game the same. How bad is that? How many Arsonists do you lose? Are minions dead? Two to 3 apparently. Out of how many? 20 to 30% DPS now. From 11 to 13? It's not that bad. Yeah. Could be worse. Some shield stuff, getting flat fizz per armor on shield. Blah 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 blah. Siege Cascade. Attack time of 75%, Surge's Variant 3.5 meters. 50% more damage from against immobilized enemies. So this is nerfed. 50% down from 200. But it does more damage in general now. Reload speed, but I don't even know what skill this is, I'm not gonna lie. What is that?
Siege Cascade fires a bolt at each enemy.
Oh, this one.
The bolts.
Stormblast Bolt now is a maximum of 30 active bolts from 9. Has 5 bolts in the clip from 3 and 30% less reload speed from 50.
Stormblast bolts stick into the ground. They can be detonated to create lightning.
Well, that's kind of huge.
Bolts stick into the ground. They can be
from 9 to 30.
Stormblast bolts.
Plasma Blast now has 47% more damage with its initial hit and 25% less damage with its explosion, causing less to rely on colliding with walls to deal enough damage. Okay, that's good. Plasma Blast buffed, kind of. If you weren't doing the shotgun thing with the wall, I mean, I don't know if I can even call it shotgun, but you know, a lot of your damage was from the AoE. So Plasma Blast buffed. Dude, the build's buffed. Artillery Ballista, more AoE, more damage. Gathering Storm's perfect dash now does 53% more damage. Wave of Frost has more freeze buildup. Dagger Palm duration now scales with levels. Okay. Dagger Palm projectiles deal 20% more damage at all levels. Concoction skills from Pathfinder Ascendancy. Why are you talking? Concoction skills from Pathfinder now consumes 3 charges from the mana flasks from 5. The damage has been increased and deal approximately 66% more when the skill is level 20. In addition, the base added damage has been increased by at least 50% for all concoction skills with poisonous and bleeding concoction receiving greater damage buffs. Someone was saying the other day that the bleeding concoction was OP. I wonder if it's really OP now. Or if that guy was just full of shit. He said it had like 1.1k base damage or something. Some various concoction buffs, I mean. Hunter's Talisman, passive gives +1, charm slot. What is that? Talisman. It should be like over here, right? Oh well. Oh, is it a Pathfinder thing? Okay. Add a new lightning damage and electrocute causes to the passive tree in between ranger among sessions. This could be a buff. This might buff the build. Heavy Frost now causes hits to only ignore an enemy resistance of frozen enemies if their resistance values were positive. Supercharged Slam now builds stages slower but gains 40% more damage now from 20%. This may display as 20% incorrectly until later patch. That's weird. Electrocute is now 25% harder to build up. Damage penalty has been removed from Sport Gem. So this means for this crossbow build, or anything that uses electrocute, you don't have to use these gloves anymore. So you could drop these gloves, get more damage, and just put electrocute on like your clearing skill or whatever skill you're gonna use. So that should be a buff, actually. Especially if that new notable here is good. It's more difficult to chain freeze enemies by reducing the amount of freeze buildup applied after freeze has been applied. Add a marker effect of Ember Fusilade's preferred target. Oh my god, this is so huge changes. So many changes. sport balance. Added the Tremor sport gem, which can be used to give up to multiple more aftershocks to skills with a damage penalty. Wonder if that's good. Sounds good. Add the bidding sport gem, which can be used to give more damage to command skills of sported minions. Exposure, lightning exposure, fire, cold, no longer penalize damage of sported skills. That's a buff to this build. Electrocute sport no longer penalizes damage. It's a buff to this build. Lacerate sport now has 50% chance to bleed. I don't know how I heard that trade. Envenom, 50% chance poison. Impact. Shockwave. Sport now has an aftershock radius of 2 meters from 1.4. Bindings, the bidding sport now grants 30% more damage to minion command skills from 20. Do you think this will be a good trade or not? You think this will be a good trade? Holy, it's looking good. Oh man. Trades are improving. Bidding sport now grants 30% more damage to minion command skills. Consider casting not only sports spells you cast yourself, it also now grants 40% more attack damage, spell damage from 25 and 50% less cast speed from 10. Blah blah blah. Aftershock buffed. Ricochet buffed, Execrate buffed, Withering Touch buffed, Ferocity buffed. Change the Wild Shard Sport Gem to fire Proj in a circle instead of a spiral pattern. Is that good or bad? If it's spiral, maybe you're getting like shotguns or something, I don't know. Is this bad? Hang Hacks now deals 60% of Inta's Chaos Dot from 30. Stomping Ground buffed. Charms on belts substantially more common. Yeah, it was like ridiculous how hard it was to get charm slot on belt. Unique item, the Adorn now applies the time loss jewels. Oh, what? Dude, is Adorn gonna be crazy in this game too? Fix a bug with Malagos's virtuosity. Crumbling walls. Passive notable was applied to maps that didn't contain breaches. What is that? Wait, I had this. No, I knew I was dude, I knew I was seeing more breaches than I should have. I knew it. Dude, that's another breach nerf. I was like, I don't remember putting breach on this map, and sometimes I'd get breaches. Shoot. I thought it was just like an additional breach on my tablet that I put on or something, but... Fix the bug where the stack granted by organized forces was causing less waystone. The drop due to trying to upgrade them into a tier that didn't exist. Wait a minute. What is that? Organized? Am I blind? Oh. I spelled it. No, they spelled it wrong, not me. Okay. Where interactables will remove the player from demon form. Demon players rejoice. Log in. Fix the bug where certain rare monsters would respawn at checkpoints after consuming their corpse. Yeah, rip beetle farmers. Rip beetle farmers. I mean, you could just probably reset the Act 1 clear file and kill the witch. Yeah, you still do the witch. You could theoretically reset the instance and teleport to the checkpoint and kill the beetle too. Fix bug where leveling skill incredibly level change when it's supported by gems which grant additional levels. Visual. Fix the bug with the rising tempest support where it was giving more damage per elemental skill used rather than more damage per elemental type that was used. Oh. Yeah, I remember people saying that was bugged. Frostfall could leave phantom walls, causing invisible blocking. Arbiter of Ash area level wasn't being increased with difficulty. Fix the bug where emergency reload wasn't put on cooldown if you're using 2 emergency reload gems. Shoot. My tech. Okay, but what if I was using 8 of them? I don't know. I haven't seen anything for Bell. Maybe they got to it. Crash on gamepad from concoction skills. Fix the bug where some players would disconnect when trying to enter maps in the Ziggurat Refuge or guild hideouts when on a party. Fix the bug where the explosion from armor explosion sport could trigger itself recursively. Fix the bug where Aisha was unable to cause freeze buildup? What? Oh my god. That's pretty bad. I remember, I actually remember some people typing they couldn't freeze with Aisha, but I thought they just meant because the skill was so bad. But it was actually just bugged and you could not freeze? I thought they just meant like it's really bad. Ice shot stonks rising. Where volatiles would follow player up elevators and trial chaos. Yeah, that was super annoying. Fix a bug where inscribed mechanisms and Jin coins and scroll would incorrectly tell you that you get ascendancy points by completing if you couldn't. Even if you wouldn't, rather. Yeah, that was super troll. After everybody's confused about the ascendancies, right? Like literally almost everybody is confused about the ascendancies, or was. They add the update that adds text to the invites that if it tells you if you're gonna get points from it or not. And it just said, all of them said you would get points. Even if it was like the wrong tier. Gamepad bug, gamepad bug, gamepad bug. Fix the bug where creating solo self-found characters wasn't possible when using a gamepad while migrations are disabled. What? Gamepad, 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 gamepad. Wait, you fixed the bug when using a gamepad where you couldn't set an individual price on an item in premium stash tabs. Holy. Fix 12 client crashes, fix 3 instance crashes. Surely my crashes will stop now. Well, looks like a pretty good buff. Shockburst Deadeye got buffed. Some other stuff got buffed. All around buffs.